Hey everybody, today we are talking about inscribed angles. So the first thing I want you to know is that in a circle, if you have a diameter and a chord, it creates something called an inscribed angle. That inscribed angle, I'll label it in green, is always going to be half the size of the arc that connects those 2 points right there. So if I have points A, B, and C, then that means this inscribed angle right here, A, B, C, is half the size of the arc AC. And if I want to figure out how big the how big the arc is, then that means it's going to be 2 times the size of that inscribed angle. So arc AC is going to be 2 times the angle ABC. So if AC is 100, this inscribed angle is 50. If this inscribed angle is 20, AC would be 40 because it's 2 times the size. Now when we get to quadrilaterals, that means a shape with 4 sides, then there's something interesting about them. Let me zoom in so you can see. I'm going to label each angle inside of here, A, B, C, and D. There's something interesting about these. So I want you to note that opposite angles are supplementary. Opposite angles are supplementary to each other. Remember, that means they add up to give you 180. So if I have angle AC here, those two are supplementary to each other. If I have angles B and D right here, those 2 angles are supplementary to each other. So angles A plus C equals 180. Angles B plus D equals 180. All right, so that brings us to our first example here. I'm given an inscribed angle for number 1, so I want to find the arc AC. So if this inscribed angle right here is 36, I know that arc AC in orange right here is going to be 2 times that size. So arc AC is 2 times angle ABC. That means 2 times 36, which is 72. For number 2, I'm given the arc this time, LK, which I will do in orange. And I'm trying to find angle N, which is this inscribed angle. So if I want to find the inscribed angle, I know that it's going to be half the size of LK. So if I want to find angle N, it is half of arc LK, which means half of 62, and that is 31 degrees. So this in here is 31 degrees. Let me label my first picture. This was 72. For number 3, it's the same kind of deal. It just looks a little bit different. I've got the inscribed angle 113, and I've got the arc QSR. Now remember, the arc is 2 times the size of the angle, so if I want to find arc QSR, it's going to be 2 times the inscribed angle, 2 times, I can call that angle QPR, or I can just call it P. That's 2 times 113, and that is 226. So this angle on the outside would be 226 all the way around. Number 4 looks a little bit different. So it wants us to find angle QRS. The way you would figure out where that angle is you start at Q to R to S. that forms this angle right here, an inscribed angle. Now, normally I know the inscribed angle is half the size of the arc that connects it, but I don't have the arc. So I need to figure out what QS is first. So we need to find arc QS first. The way we do that is we know the whole circle all the way around is 360 degrees. If I have 360 degrees minus 120 minus 140, that'll give me this missing piece right here. So I'll do 360 minus 120 minus 140. When I do that subtraction, I find that QS is 100. But I'm not done because it asked me for the inscribed angle. Now I know the arc. How can I find that inscribed angle? So angle QRS is half of that arc right there, QS, which is half of 100. And that means it is 50 degrees. Number 7 looks like the front page of our notes. We have a quadrilateral in here, and we know that opposite angles are supplementary to each other. So I've got two opposite angles here, X and 55. They are supplementary to each other. 70 and Y. They are supplementary to each other. Supplementary means they add to equal 180. All right, so hopefully that helps you set up your equation. If these two are supplementary, they add up to give you 180. So X plus 55 equals 180. Go ahead and find X. We would start by subtracting 55 from both sides. Once we do that, these go away. I've got X equals 125. So let's set up our next equation. Y plus 70 equals 180 because they're supplementary. I would subtract the 70, and I get Y equals 180 minus 70, which is 110. Number 8 is just one more step more difficult. These two are supplementary to each other. So I will circle them because they are opposite of each other. So if these are supplementary, they add to give me 180. So I will add them all up, set them equal to 180. Now I've got some like terms here. I've got 1x and 5x. That is 6x plus 24 equals 180. Subtract 24 from both sides. This goes away, and I get 6x equals 180 minus 24, which is 156. My next step is to divide both sides by 6, and whenever I do that, I should get, let me verify, I believe it's 26, but I don't want to write the wrong thing down. Yes, it's 26. All right, so your next step is going to be to complete the assignment, and that will be right here.